Now it's fine, sir. You are very clear, audible, and the sound is not there.
Okay, now I think I can start my presentations.
Okay,
Not
sir.
actually presentation, it is regarding the statistics. Then here I would like to explain one thing that regarding statistics, actually it is so simple, and this presentation is for our MEd students and research scholars. Actually, the basic statistics is regarding mean, median, mode, such central tendencies, or things like standard deviation, mean deviation, such things for measures of dispersion and correlation, regression, and some inferential statistics, in which there are two types, parametric and non-parametric. Inferential means it helps to give some inferences on population from our sample. Our data available from the sample and its calculations are called as simply statistics, and the values of population is known as parameter, and non-parametric does not means it cannot estimate parameters. So both parametric and non-parametric statistics are equally important. And here usually for every research scholars and those who are interested in statistics may like to learn many softwares which will be available for statistical analysis. Such an robust and popular statistic is SPSS, Statistical Package of Social Sciences. That is the old full form of SPSS. Now it is known as just SPSS after purchased by IBM. But it is so costly to use this software. But there are so many hacked versions are available, and it is not so easy to teach SPSS during this COVID time, because it is not possible to go online with a cracked version. I think many of the research scholars and teachers usually have SPSS as a cracked version because of its huge expensive purchase. But there are some other robust and powerful open source software like R and R Studio, R package, etc. And in this R package or R Studio, what is the difficulty is that it is not so easy to follow. Visible the SPSS page. And now I think Lakshmi give me a feedback.
Yes, sir, it's visible. Visible, sir.
Okay. Then R Studio and R Statistics is free, robust, powerful. But what is the difficulty from the part of researchers and statisticians is that it is not so easy to follow. Some learning curve is needed to follow this R project and R computing. So for a beginning statisticians like MEd students and beginning research scholars, it is not so easy to follow this R project. But the same structure of SPSS, the same pattern of SPSS is available from a small 53 MB file size package known as PSPP. PSPP is again a GNU project, that is, it is open source and the software is free, and how to download and install it. Go to this page of PSPP, go to the download page, and from the download page we can download different types of PSPP for different types of computers.
Sir, I am interfering. Are you started recording? Recording
okay,
again?
okay, yeah, right.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Now here in the Windows installers, there are several versions of build generations are available, in which the latest generation is good, and for 32-bit version there is a package is available, and 64 version there is another package is available. Okay, now click on this and it will leads to a software repository known as SourceForge, in which the download automatically starts after some seconds, and this is the execution file for the installation of PSPP. After installing, downloading it, double click and install it. There is no need of cracking, there is no need of serial key, etc. But it is good only to learn the structure of a statistical package like SPSS, and it is not so robust. But for, I think, a data analysis work for MEd students, like, it is needed to use this PSPP for Windows. It is available for Macintosh, and it is available for the Linux applications too. And in my opinion, for beginners, this Excel statistical package available in Excel is enough. Why it is said that it is enough? That here you can see that there is a statistical package available for this Microsoft Excel. See here, actually this is a normal view of an Excel sheet, but I can analyze data using Excel to create a t-test table like this. Where it is available? It is available in the data menu. Click on the data menu, where you can see that there is a data analysis package. Click on the data analysis package. It will show you different analysis tools like ANOVA, single factor, two factor without replication, correlation, covariance, F-test, histogram, t-test of different types like paired two sample. There are different types of tests are available, but it is not so vast as SPSS. But this is enough for a beginner. How to use this package in Excel? Simply go to, I will remove this data first. Okay, I want to calculate whether there exists any significant difference in the values of these rural and urban. Here a set of data, a small set of data is there. I want to find out whether there exists any significant difference. For that purpose, I need a statistical tool, and its name is Students t-test. Here it is independent sample, and it is small sample, but usually any statistical package identify the structure of data by itself and utilize the appropriate formula for that. Here I will go to this file menu to activate the data package. It is already activated in my laptop, but for the beginners, in order to start the data pack in Excel file, this particular Excel is 2010, and it is available only from 2010 and above versions. not in 2007. Okay, again come back. Usually the preliminary statistics like what is called measures of central tendency, measures of dispersions are easily to calculate in Excel itself because it is already available in all the versions of Excel. Here in this function of X is enough to test whether there exists any significant difference. There is a category known as statistical. Here average, chi-square, then F-test, Fisher's, then median, mode, skewness, standard deviation. Such things are already there. Okay. And in order to find out the mean of this category, just click here and click on the FX button and click on average. Average is the mean. Okay, click average. Just click OK. Then select the data series A2 to A9. A2 is this 132, A9 is this blank column. But it is wrong. This blank column cannot be included for the calculation. So just click here and click and drag this much data and click enter. That is the mean value of this category. But this is not the case here. This is one blank cell is also there. So just do not click and drag here. Just click here and again click on this function of X. Click on average and click OK and select this data. That's all. And this is the average value or mean value of this data. In this way, we can find out standard deviation, that is a measure of dispersion. Here, in this category, there is usually the most recently used items are here. So it is for me, it is easy to select from here. Otherwise, you can search here STD standard and click go. It will not produce any result. STDEV. Okay, that's enough, I think. And STDEV is the standard deviation short form. Here, read this. The function is available for compatibility Excel for earlier estimate standard deviation based on the sample. Okay, this is standard deviation. There are different types of standard deviation tools are available here. Okay, click OK. Then again it search for the values. Click here and select the data. Again click here and click OK. This is the standard deviation of this data. Just click and drag here, but it may not be correct. Again you can search whether it is correct by double click. Here the data is selected up to this area, so it may not be correct. So you have to reduce the data from B2 to B7. Always verify whether your data series is correct or not by clicking on the formula bar. Here it is a formula bar. Here just click here and you can observe whether the data selected is right or wrong because from the blue box. You can click and drag the blue box. By clicking here you can click and drag. Now this is measure of central tendency mean, and this is measure of dispersion standard deviation. And if you like to find out the correlation between these two data, but actually it is not correct to find out this correlation between, such tools are available here. But my question is not that. My question, it is the social maturity value of rural students and urban students. Social maturity value. I want to test whether there exists any significant difference, because from the mean value it is clear that the rural students have more social intelligence than the urban students. But my sample is very small. But based on this sample, can I predict this result for the population? In order to estimate or in order to infer such a thing, I have to use an inferential statistics, and that statistics is known as t-test. And to use t-test, I have to go for data analysis. But here is the problem. If you use a new version of Excel, your data analysis pack may not be observed here because you have to activate it. It is already installed by your computer expert, but you still not activated. So such a menu may not be available. Data analysis menu may not be available in your Excel. So you just click on the file menu, and in the file menu there is a button known as options. Click on options, and it will lead you to a window known as Excel options, in which you can see add-ins. Click on add-ins. Just click on add-ins, and in which the add-ins, there are active tool packs and inactive tool packs are listed. Okay, here you have to activate, you have to manage Excel add-ins by clicking manage Excel add-ins and click on go button. Here Excel add-ins are selected, already selected. By default it is selected. Just click go, and in which there is a analysis tool pack is there. Just give a tick mark here. It is usually unticked format. It is usually available in unticked format. Just click tick mark or just activate it and click on OK. Then it will activate the data analysis pack here. Nothing to download, nothing to install. Just make it active. Then click any cell, any blank cell anywhere. Just click any blank cell and click on this data analysis link and go for students t-test. Here you have to identify which statistics I have to use. It is a small sample. Statistics. Here the size of the sample will be automatically detected by the package, data analysis package, but we have to select whether it is paired. Paired means the data given by the rural and urban are paired or not, but actually it is not paired. It is independent. Independent means the data from rural is not given by any member from the rural category is included in the urban category. That is the main criteria. They are two independent groups, like gender, male and female. So we have to go for independent sample. Then here another assumption is there. Equal variance is there or not. Usually the difference is so minute, yet we have to assume equal variance or unequal variance. But this aspect is readily available in SPSS, but here we have to find out whether equal variance is here or not by testing variances. But I do not go for variance test. Just click on assuming equal variance. Just select two sample t-test assuming equal variance and just click on OK. Here the first variable range have to select by clicking the cell. Here I have to select this cell and click go back. Then variable to range, then click here and select this much data. Okay, click OK, and this is enough. Now click on here. Usually the alpha value, that is the confidence interval, is either 99% or 95%. Here 95% level of confidence is selected, and here output is where the output should be created. Output can be given in the same page by clicking here. Okay, here by selecting this window I can give the output. Okay, that's enough. Now click OK. That's enough. The result will be displayed here. the mean value of the first variable, second variable, its variances. So from this here we can see that there is no equal variance, so we can go for the unequal variance also, but it will not make much difference. Then it's numbers, pooled variance, hypothesis, degrees of freedom, t statistics, and this is the important value for us. 2.81 means it is greater than it is greater than 1.96. It is greater than 1.96, the table value for 95% level of confidence. It means that there exists a significant difference between these two groups. Or from the p-value, we can find that there is only 99.992% level of error in this calculation. We need only 95% level of confidence, but this value shows me that this test is confident 99.992. How to get the value for me from observing this value? This is the value for error in ratio of 1. There is only a chance of 0.008 ratio of chance to get an error in this calculation. That means 1 minus 0.008 into 100 is a percentage. Then we will obtain that value 99.992. Okay, that much confidence we have. If the value is equal to or greater than 0.05, if the value is equal to or greater than 0.05, we have no confidence. We have no confidence that these two groups are different at a 95% level. So this p-value should be less than 0.05. That is the importance of this p-value. It is so easy in statistical calculations that in all the time we have to compare with the table value. The t statistics should be compared with the table values to make an assurance. But here in statistical package we will provided with the probability of committing an error value also, and from that value, if it is less than 0.05, we can assure that, we can confidently say that there is a difference. And this is regarding the t-test here. And for ANOVA, okay, what you expect regarding the unequal variance? Here this t-test for sample assuming equal variance. What might be the result for unequal variance? There will not be much change in the t statistics. We can just test for that also here. Again, click on this data analysis. Select the second one, t-test 2 sample assuming unequal variance. Just click and click OK. Now select the first variable range here and select the second variable range here, and this process should be familiar for you. This button is to select the data, this particular button, and again click on this, it will return to the window. Then where is the output range? Output range should be in our this sheet itself. So I have to select any blank cell. Yeah, all the cells are long. Okay, I select this cell and click back and click OK. Now observe the result here. From here we can see that the t value is not much different from the first case. Here 2.8165. Here the formula is different, and but there is no much. It is slightly higher than the previous value. That's all. Okay. This is about small sample t-test. And regarding paired sample t-test. Here this data can be used for paired sample t-test. Here also we can utilize the function from here to calculate a t-test. Such an option is there. but it will not produce a statistical result table as in our SPSS. So we can use this data analysis package. Now I want to calculate. This is paired, means the same student give the pair of values before an experiment and after an experiment. This is post-test value and this is pre-test value. That is, this test, the same achievement test is given before in intervention and after an intervention. That's okay. Now click here. This is a blank area, and click on the data analysis menu. Then select paired to sample for means. Click OK. Then again select the range and click OK. Then click the second variable range. Again click OK. Then output range. Here this cell is selected for output. Okay. Then click OK. And this is the result. T-test for paired to sample for means. Variable 1, variable 2, its mean value, variance, observations. Then what is there? There is for the paired sample t-test, we need adequate correlation between the two set of value. Here from the value it is, again you know, in the formula of paired sample t-test, R value is there. Okay, and that R value is needed for calculation of this paired sample t-test. And one more aspect is that in the assumption of paired sample t-test, we need an adequate correlation between those two sets of data. So this Pearson correlation value is also explained here. Then hypothesis mean difference, degrees of freedom. This is the t value. Again, the value is greater than 1.96. No, it is not greater than 1. Actually not, yeah, you may say, but do not consider this sign because we use this pre-test first then post-test. That's the only reason to produce the negative sign. If the formula is reversed, x1 minus x1 bar minus x2 bar, if reverse it to x2 bar minus x1 bar, this negative sign will be removed. Then go for the p-value. Here the showing the p-value. Usually we have to select the two-tailed p-value. Two-tailed p-value is needed. Okay, if we select the two-tailed p-value and it is less than 0.05, we can zoom little more to get it. Okay, if the value is lesser than 0.05, there exists a significant difference in the mean value of this pre-test and post-test. That is the result of this t-test, and so simple to calculate t-test in Excel. Here in the case of ANOVA 2, it is possible. Okay, but before going to ANOVA, I will like to demonstrate some basic aspect of Excel for the purpose of our emerged students, because emerged students during their project work, they have to create what is called some charts, graphs, either in the form of a pie chart or in the form of a bar diagram. Please. In order to help them, I need some data like grades and number of grades for each category. See, if consider it is a result of an examination. The E grade is available, is obtained for 2 students, and D grade is obtained for 5 students. C grade is for 8 students. C plus for 15 students. B grade is 20 students. B plus is again 21 students. A grade is 25 students. A plus grade is only for 4 students. If this is the data for me, okay, this is grade and this is number or frequency, and I want to create a graph. This is a simple process to create a graph using Excel. Here I give the letter grade. If I want to convert this into a bar diagram, just select this and click on insert. And here there are different types of charts available in this section. And just click on this bar diagram and it will shows the graph, and you can edit. Such a simple process is to create a graph. And it is not, I think, not necessary for this session, but yet it is for the purpose of our emerged students I demonstrate. Similarly, if the result of an examination shows that below average students are number is 23 and average student number in an examination is 56 and above average students number is again 22. Okay, if this is the case, and if we want to create a what is called a pie diagram based on this, just create a table like this. And this is not a table, just give the data in the Excel sheet in the nearby cells, and this is the nearby cell. Okay, this is below average, this is number. Okay, just select this table and click on insert. Click on again here the pie chart. Here select the pie. It will shows the diagram like this, and you can change the format by clicking here. There are different formats are available, and based on the your need, you can select which chart, which graph you like to use. That's all regarding the pie diagram. There are different designs of pie diagrams are there, and all these things are so simple for you. Okay, create charts. Then I think I can one more important graph is there to find out coefficient of correlation. During finding coefficient of correlation, usually we create a chart known as scatter plot. Such an option is also there, but based on this chart data I cannot create, but I will show here. This is the scatter plot diagram. Okay, based on this data it is not good to create scatter plot, so I leave that. Okay, I will show it in another data. And that is regarding different data display using graphs in Microsoft Excel. Okay, I think regarding t-test and graphs, I completed the area t-test, then pie diagram, bar diagram, and one more thing we need to complete is that scatter plot. I will demonstrate scatter plot also here. Before going to that, I will demonstrate how to use a chi-square test. Chi-square test is a non-parametric test. Usually in chi-square test, the usual pattern of manual calculation is that this is if this is the observed frequency and this is the expected frequency, we have to make a calculation like this: F4 minus Fe all square, F4 minus Fe all square divided by Fe, sum of this, and in such a formula is there to calculate the chi-square value. But in our statistical package, such an option is there to select FO and FE. I will search first in the data area that whether it is available in data analysis, whether it is available or not. If it is not available, don't worry about it, because it is already available in our function of x. Just click on function of x and go for chi-test. Here CHI test is there. Just search in the search for a function, and the short form is CHI-TEST, chi-test. Select the chi-test and click OK. That's needed. Okay, if we use that method, select chi-test and click OK, we have to give actual range and expected range. I select the actual range as observed frequency and expected range as this here actually I select the column wrongly. Okay, click this cell. Click any other cell and click on this function, this data. Again, click kite test, click OK. Then actual range as the observed frequency, and expected range is this. Click OK. Then we may obtain a value like this, 7.96 into, okay, this is the value. What's the meaning of this value? This is meaningless. No, this is 7.932 into 10 to the power of minus 16. That is the value. Okay, so it is not so easy to what is called explain this value, but actually this value gives the probability of an error, that is p value of the kite test. That is, if we convert this value into numbers, we can convert into by clicking format cells and click on number. It is converted into, you can increase the decimal place. See, this is the value, 0.00000000793. This is the value. What is the meaning of this value? That is, a p-value is less than 0.05. That is, there exists a significant association between whatever may be the value. There is a significant association at 99.999999% level of confidence. That is the meaning of this p-value. And so simple to calculate chi-square in Excel too. There is no need of any special packages. Then we can use Yates correction if a small sample is there, or we can go for any other tests. But now I go for ANOVA. Here, this is a manual calculation of ANOVA. I will select any other data. Yeah. There is an achievement test score of 3 types of schools. Actually, these types of problems are needed for MED students. Okay, then we can go for this test, right? ANOVA. ANOVA helps us to compare the variance among these 3 categories. And from the variance of these categories, it will produce one F value, and that F value will give an assumption that whether there exists a significant difference in the mean value of these 3 categories. In analysis of variance, we would like to compare the means of these 3 groups. This is a usual situation. And this may be an achievement test score out of 25. This is the maximum score, and very small data is selected, and whether even though there is a difference in their mean score, I want to confirm whether that difference is also expected in the population at a 95% level of confidence. For that purpose, we use this test ANOVA. Okay, and it produce a F value and there's a P value. How to calculate this? I first remove all this result, then go for the calculation. Usually the lines are also cannot be deleted. So I go for the home button to remove the lines. There is no need to remove the lines. Okay, no, it is find out normal. Okay, now I want to compare. The question is that, are there any significant difference in the performance of schools? Usually you can create a null hypothesis and test. There is no difference in the performance of schools. That is the null hypothesis. And based on the F value, we can either accept or reject the null hypothesis. That is the usual process of research. But I will not go for that aspect. Instead, I just demonstrate how to calculate ANOVA. I think you have already a basic idea regarding ANOVA. Based on that concept I explained here. Here, I click a cell and click on this data menu. Click on the data menu. Click on the data analysis. And from this area, I go for ANOVA, single factor ANOVA, two factor ANOVA, two factor without replication. Such categories are there. It is a single factor because only one factor, that is achievement test score, is there. ANOVA single factor, select and click OK. And I have to give the input range. And the inputs are grouped by column or row. There's a question like that. And it is, you observe here, it is grouped by columns, not by rows. Okay, so I have to select columns, and this is 0.05 level, and this is output range that I have to select on this this sheet itself. So I select this. Then input range. In order to select input range, click here. The same button is there. Click here, just click here, and go for selection of this data up to this, and click OK. Right? Click OK. That's only we need. And our single factor output range is missing. Yeah, output range is not selected. That's the defect. Here, this is output range. Okay, click OK. Click OK. Right. This is the result. So simple. There are three groups. Here actually it is placed in between. There is one column, blank column. If there is a blank column, such an error will be displayed here. Here this is not needed, and this is also not needed. Okay, there are only three columns, right? And f value is here, and p value is here, and from the p value I can say that there is no difference. There is no difference in the performance of these three groups. How? That will explain. I can explain it later. I already explained it because it is the p-value, means it is the probability of an error. That means if the value is less than 0.05, if the value is less than 0.05, there is a significant difference. If the value is equal to or greater than 0.05, there is no difference. That's all simple. That this value also gives that there is a 25. There is a 25% chance that we can have an error. Usually our value, our percentage of error should be less than 5%. But here in this case, if we suggest that there is a difference, that will leads to 25% of error in our inference. So we cannot say that there is a difference. We have to accept a null hypothesis, that is, there is no difference in the performance. Okay, now I think it is clear in ANOVA, regarding ANOVA. Then go for chi-square. Yeah, I think I already explained chi-square. So now I think all the some of the statistics available in the Excel, Microsoft Excel is finished. Now we can go for our PSPP package. Notice why we use the value 0.05 for comparing the p-value, and how it depends upon the error. Which statistical tool can be used if we have 9 components to compare? You can use ANOVA. Minal Mishra, we can use ANOVA for 9 components, 9 groups, for 9 groups. Then Sri Lakshmi, why we use the p-value 0.05 means, the 0.05 means it is a ratio. Ratio means out of 1, there is a chance of 0.05. That is, if we converted into percentage, we can say that it is converted into 95%. Okay, 90 out of 95% level, we have to for social studies work. In science, we need 99% level of confidence. for statistics for social sciences, we need at least 95% level of confidence in the case of any hypothesis to accept or reject. Okay, so that value is converted into a ratio, and that value is 0.05. Out of 1, it is 0.05. And if the probability of an error is less than 0.05, we can accept or reject the hypothesis. That is a condition here, right? I think Sri Lakshmi is clear. Now we can go for PSPP. Before that, one question regarding coefficient of correlation in Microsoft Excel. For that purpose, I need a data with yeah, we can use this one for that purpose. See, for coefficient of correlation, and in order to explain scatter plot, we need a large number of data. That's why I selected another category. See here, I think there are more than 276 data is there, and it is based on two variables. One is resilience and other is professional dissolute behavior, and their score is there, and based on this score we can calculate coefficient of correlation and again create scatter plot. To create a coefficient of correlation value, first I have to click on a cell and click on coefficient of insert data, or again click on data and data analysis, whether it is there or not. Yeah, correlation is there. Click on correlation, data analysis correlation. Otherwise, in Microsoft Office Excel 2007, that is in the old version also, it is available in the function of X. Here also you can find CORR. Just search for CORR and click on this, rephrase. Click on statistical table, and in the alphabetic order just go for HIJK. Yeah, this is the keyword correlation, CORREL. Click on CORREL. It will helps to coefficient of correlation of two values of array 1 and array 2. Click on this and select array 1 from here to the end of the data. Okay, this is array 1, and for array 2 again go for here and select the end of the data. Here G2 to G226, here F2 to F226, that are data, and here the values appeared, but click on OK, the correlation value will be appeared here. It means there exists a negative correlation of 0.5. Negative correlation, that means if resilience is increased, the professional dissolute behavior should be decreased and will be decreased. That is the meaning of this correlation. And we can show in another way using this data analysis. Here just click on data analysis, go for where it is click on correlation, just click OK, then click on input range. Here input range we have to select both, because there is only one input range. So I select both column, then grouped by column. Yeah, that's good. Then output range, we have to select an output range to display the result. Here I want to display the result, just click here. Okay, click OK. Now this is the result, the same result. The relation between column 1 and column 2. Column 1 means this RES, column 2 means this PDB. The relation between column 1 and column 2 is negative 0.5. The correlation is somewhat good, but it is negative. That means there exists a negative one. If one variable is increased, the other variable will decrease. This is the result. Now create a scatter plot. Click a blank cell, click on insert button, click on these dots. Okay, click on these dots again. I have to select data. That's a defect. First I have to select this data. Then need to click on here. Oh, what is wrong with me? After selecting this data, click insert. Click insert. Again click on this scatter plot button. Click on here. It will provide you a graph like this. It will not be beautiful like this, but we have to make we have to modify this to make so good. This is in blue color, this is in black color, this is in large size, this is in small size, and this is clustered in a one point, this is somewhat spread, and we have to make some arrangements to make it good in appearance. Okay, now what are the arrangements we need? Just double click the points and the format option will appear here. Click on the marker button, click on one point, click on the marker button. It is not line. Yeah, here marker options. You can change the built-in into the size is good. You can reduce the size into 0.2. That's enough. Then click on the fill button to change the color. Yeah, in order to change the color into black. Then anything more to change? I think in only one marker is selected. I select the box, full graph box, then click on this marker and select the color to black, make it black. Yeah, here black. Oh, not that. That is a theme color. Here fill, now fill. What is marker option? Now I selected only the area, so marker will not be appeared. I have to select the marker. Okay, now all the markers are selected. Then click on the marker and click on the marker options to make it to make the size reduced to 2. Okay, now I have to click on the color to black. Yeah, black. Now the size is so small. No, somewhat good. Okay, this is a way to reduce the size. Now in order to make the area more usable, just click on the right click on the base side, right click, select the format axis and give the smallest value in here. I think this value is 92,214. Here, that means here the lowest value is greater than 90. So just click 90. Okay. Then what will happen if I give 90 there? What will happen? Okay. Click enter. Yeah. Now it is spread to this area. See 90 here. Come here. Similarly, the lowest point here is, I think, the value of this particular point. Here I click on this axis and go for this particular button. Yeah, that's value is 90. So I have to again format that axis. If I right click and format, click on right click and select the format chart area, not chart area, format axis. Yeah, this now it is correct, format axis. Now add here 85, just enter. Now it is spread. See, the scatter plot is spread over the area. Now you can add a regression line here if you like, and it is available, and it is the Here in this axis, we start from 85, and in this axis we start from 90. Then the dots are spread evenly through the plot area, and I have to add one regression line. I would like to add one regression line here, and in order to add regression line, I have to format this chart. There are many chart options available here. I would like to activate that different types of charts, chart options from here. Actually, as I am customized this chart, I cannot activate. This chart is already customized, because of that reason, I cannot change the pattern from here. But here from quick layout, I can make change, and I would like to add one regression line by clicking here. And it will show a line, a dotted line. Can you watch the line? A linear PDB is there, and there is an equation, and this equation is same as regression equation. I would like to increase the size. See, this is a regression equation. Y is equal to negative 0.5426x plus 225.6, then the r square is here. And this is the regression equation, this data. Okay. And that way we can utilize this Microsoft Excel to calculate even regression. Okay, I think it is enough for a correlation and regression regarding Excel. Now I think I can shift into PSPP. After calculating trend equation, how can we study its significance? It can be used for calculating the regression equation, linear regression equation. It will give only a prediction regarding the future. Based on the current data, we can give a prediction. That's all. Many hypotheses, many teachers in their research may create a hypothesis like the prediction of one value or the other. In order to test that aspect, we utilize this. Structural equation modeling is use of multiple regressions. So many regressions are going on the multiple structural equation modeling, but it is not the preview of this day's workshop, because structural equation modeling is another area which cannot be added into this particular aspect. A simple linear regression is only possible with the help of this Microsoft Excel and both PSPP. Now I think I can go for PSPP. Are there any need of these windows? Just close this and close here also. Yeah. There is no need. Yeah, it is needed later. Okay. Now I would like to open PSPP and shows its structure. It's a simple program of only 53 MB size. So all the statistics available in SPSS cannot be expected here. But as a precursor of SPSS, you can use this, because all the menus, all the functions are very similar to SPSS. So in order to start with SPSS, it is so difficult in this COVID time, because the students' laptops are not installed with SPSS. Usually the teachers provide them cracked SPSS to install, and advise them not to use while using internet, because it may cause viruses to attack. It is vulnerable to virus attack while using a cracked version of SPSS in online. So in order to avoid such problems, this simple package of PSPP can be used. Very similar to SPSS, there are two views, data view and variable view. These two views are available. And those who are not familiar with SPSS may not be identify what is the importance of this data view and variable view. If we are familiar with the Excel, spreadsheet. This such a view is not there in Excel or any spreadsheet. What is the importance of these two types of views? The data view is somewhat similar to Excel. Here only the ruled lines are there. And here 1, 2, 3 is there, but here instead of ABC, VAR is. I would like to request one participant to mute the microphone, please. Okay, here it is provided VAR. Okay, that means variable 1, variable 2, variable 3. We can give name. In Excel, it is fixed name A, this is B, this is C. But here we can give the name and give the property of each column of the variables in the variable view. For example, if we add to give a heading like serial number SLNO without space, you can use capital letters, but you cannot use special characters there. Just click enter. And it is numeric, its width is 8, its decimal place is 2, its label, value label, such some properties of that variable is given and it will appear in the data view. Here serial number is here. Now we can add the serial number in this way. But instead of 1, 2, 3, it is printed as 1.00, 2.00, 3.00. What is the reason? I already give 2 decimal places here. If not needed, just make it 0 by clicking this negative button. Now again watch here. Now it is clear. Now add 4. Click here and type 4 regarding this value. First click on the analyze, and this is the same as SPSS, but the menu is very large. But here only few menu. Just explore the menu. Frequency, descriptive, explore, cross tabs, compare maze, one sample, independent sample, paired sample, one ANOVA, univariate analysis, bivariate correlation, K-mean cluster, factor analysis, reliability analysis, regression, linear regression, and binary logistic integration, non-parametric statistics like chi-square, and then KS related, some tests are there. Okay, and these are the features available for this. One person want to admit, right? These are the tests available for this PSPP. Here I go to descriptive statistics frequencies. Here in the frequencies, I want to calculate the mean, median, standard deviation, minimum value, maximum value, then a standard error of mean, skewness, if needed variance, then if needed standard error of skewness, if like, or kurtosis, mode, standard error of kurtosis, median. Okay, that's all I needed. For which variable? The total means the psychological resilience, the value of psychological resilience. Just click here and click on the charts button. Here we can draw histogram with a normal curve. This is the same as SPSS. SPSS also, in the frequency area, there is a window known as charts, and on the charts area, there is draw histogram with the superimposed normal curve. Then click on continue, click OK. Then we can avoid frequency tables. We display frequency table. It is annoying to see the frequency table, so I make it never. Then click on continue and click OK. And our output file is for the first time users, please note that comparing to Excel file, the output is created as a separate file, both in SPSS and PSPP. Output file is created separately. So click on the output file. It will shows the values we just asked. Number of data, mean value, standard error of mean, mode, standard deviation, variance, kurtosis, skewness, minimum and maximum value, all are there. Okay, then now go for this histogram. But the problem is that we cannot right click and copy. Okay, but instead of we can export or we can give print or we can screenshot by clicking Alt to print the screen. We can screenshot. Then only we can add this value into our dissertation work or project work. That is only the defect I found regarding this aspect, this histogram aspect in this PSPP. In SPSS we can copy the image and paste in Word. Okay, such a facility is not here regarding SPSS. Okay, now I would like to what is the similarity between SPSS and PSPP may be identified by the users of SPSS already. Now we can go for some other tests, and this is a first test. This is a first area, the preliminary statistics or descriptive statistics regarding this to create. Okay, for this purpose I use a large data set, and based on this large data set I also like item analysis by different methods. There are different methods for item analysis. I think I don't know whether grouping is there. Okay, I can use this table. That means the item of the tool, each item of the tool is added to this data. Then if so, we can use this data for item analysis using the method Cronbach alpha. Okay, you may be aware of the method Cronbach alpha. If the value is greater than 0.8 and above, the test is found to be good, and you can increase the value by omitting items. That is the method. Okay. I request participants to stay here even any internet loss may occur from my part. Otherwise, again I have to add all again by admitting. Okay, and now I will demonstrate how to make item analysis by scale. Click analyze button, click on reliability. Reliability is a method of item analysis. Click on reliability analysis. Select the items, only the items of the tool. Select the items of the tool and bring to this item table by clicking this. This is exactly same in SPSS also. This button is the, just click, it will convert here. And here the method is alpha. Here show descriptives for scale if item is deleted. Click on this and click OK. That's enough. Here it will give an output file. Here you can see that the Cronbach alpha value is 0.89. That means this test is so good. Even if you can reduce the number of items in your tool by reducing some items from here by observing the last column, Cronbach alpha if item deleted. You can increase the value of this 0.89 by deleting some items. If any item shows greater than this value, only if any item shows greater than this value, you can delete that item. That means deleting that item will improve the Cronbach alpha. But I think it is already analyzed. There is no items, no single item in the tool can be removed. There are 52 items. No, not actually 52 items. Some items are already, yes, here 47, after 47, 48 and 49 is not there. In that way, it is not a continuous number because it is already removed. Otherwise, there will be some items will shows higher than this value. Higher than this value. That means removing that item will improve the Cronbach alpha to that For example, if it shows that 0.9 or 0.99, if item 6 shows here 0.99, we can remove this item 6 to improve the Cronbach alpha of our tool to 0.99. That is the meaning of the last column. This last column will be obtained only by clicking that particular window. Again, I will repeat. Click on Analyze, click on Reliability, select the items from here by clicking here to add here, and tick here. This tick mark is given that last column with which item deleted will improve our reliability. And this is the use of reliability analysis using PSPP. There is another method comparing upper group and lower group. I will demonstrate with another data set. Okay, that's all here for this data set, and I will like to close this data. Okay. Now I would like to open another data set. And here importing data, I will demonstrate how to import data from Excel. Now, I would like to demonstrate how to import data to Excel. For that purpose, I would like to demonstrate the structure of an Excel file. Here there is a data known as resilience. Okay, and this is a huge data, and this is the first sheet of the data. I would like to convert or import this data into PSPP. I would like to move this data into PSPP. For that purpose, first I have to save this file in CSV format, comma separated value, CSV. First I want to convert this Excel sheet into comma separated values. How to convert? Just click on File and click on Save As. I think you got an idea that as the t-value is 2.82, for equal variance is assumed. There is a test for equality here, just neglect it. Assume equal variance and go for this value. There is no much difference between these two values. And this is 2.82. The t-value is 2.82. As this value is greater than the table value 1.96, there exists a significant difference in intelligence between this gender, female and male. Female possesses more intelligence, how I told. From the mean value, I can show that female possesses more intelligence than male. Okay. And based on this small number of sample, I can confidently say that there exists a significant difference. Because it is small sample t-test, because the statistical package convert this into small sample t-test. One more person want to admit. Okay. Now go for the other aspect in the table. Here just observe the t-value here. Then go for the significant two-tailed value. This is a p-value. As mentioned in the Excel, this is the same as p-value. This value is less than 0.05. This value is less than 0.05. That means there is a chance of less than 0.05 error in this inference. The error is 99.3. Not the error, the confidence is 99.3. That means we have a confidence of 99.3% in telling that the male and female samples are differ each other in their intelligence with a confidence of 99.3. This aspect is I already mentioned as the p-value, otherwise the significant value if less than 0.05, there exists a significant difference. That is a simple meaning. Okay, and this is regarding the t-test in simply in PSPP. Now I think we can go for okay. If one student like to create a bar diagram regarding this aspect, because in our usual result we would like to create a bar diagram on this aspect, because male and female significantly differ in their mean score. It is very easy to create a bar diagram for that purpose. Just type male, here type female, here the value is 110 something, the mean value of the intelligence, here the value is something 130. Just type exactly the values, just to select the table, insert, click on bar diagram. It will produce the bar diagram like this, and you can change the color, you can add the legends. Okay, all from here. There are so many options. Quick layout, so many options are there. From the options you can change chart title, axis title, such things are there. You can change the color of the bars also by right click on the bar. You can change the color in this way. Simply you can change, see. And if you want to change one bar color, double tap on that and again make another color, give another color for that. Okay. And this is a simple method to create a chart using, if the significant difference is there, we have to create. If there is no significant difference, do not to go for these charts, because it shows mainly the difference. Okay, you can create a bar diagram to show to show there is no difference, but the height of the bar should not be so much differ. If your hypothesis is null hypothesis is accepted, the bar should have almost same height. Okay, such things, please be careful, and I will go for the other test. Here I will close this data set and go for what is called paired sample t-test. Here a pre-test value and a post-test value of an experiment is given. This is pre-test scores are scores obtained before the experiment. The post-test scores are scores obtained after the experiment. And the experimenter wants to know whether there exists any significant difference between the pre-test and post-test. Okay. In such case, we have to go for paired sample t-test and not independent sample, because the same the element give the two set of data. Same boy or girl give the two set of data. So one data is dependent upon the other. So this is dependent sample t-test. And these data are paired. So it is also known as paired sample t-test. And there should be adequate correlation between these two set of data. So it is also known as correlated sample t-test. There are three names: paired sample t-test, correlated sample t-test, dependent sample t-test. Sorry. Now click on analyze, click on compare means, click on paired sample t-test. This is so simple, variable 1 and variable 2 here. Click pre-test to variable 1, click post-test to variable 2. So it may give a negative value. If post-test is given first, then it will give. There is no, don't consider the sign of the t-value. Okay. Just click on options to whether it is 95% level. Yeah, it is 90%. Click on continue and click on OK. Now there is an orange color, that is an output file is created. Just click here and search for output file. Here the number of pre-test 14, post-test 14, mean 17, pre-test, post-test 19. That means there is an increase in average score in the post-test. Standard deviation, standard error of mean, such things are there. And there is correlation, adequate correlation between pre-test and post-test, 0.84. I think it is high correlation, a significant high correlation is here. That means we can go for paired sample t-test. That is, in paired sample t-test, in formula itself there is 2R. You can check the formula of paired sample t-test, and there is a 2R, small r is there. That r is denotes correlation coefficient. That means here we can go for paired sample t-test, and this is the result of paired sample t-test. From this table we can check the t-value. Here it is 2.36 and it is greater than 1.96. So, but it is less than 2.56. Okay, it is less than 2.56 but greater than 1.96. These are the two criterion table value. 2.56 is the table value for 99% level of confidence. 1.96 is the criterion value for 95% level of confidence. Now, as the value is greater than 1.96, we can sure that there exists a significant difference in pre-test and post-test in this experiment. That is, this experiment is a success. The package applied to this 14 sample can be applied to the population, because at 95% level of confidence that this package, this experimental package is effective. And see the p-value here. Here this is the p-value without considering the table value 1.96 or 2.58, whatever may be. Just look for the p-value. This p-value is less than 0.05. It is less than 0.05 means there exists a significant difference. The same thing. So we can just reject the null hypothesis and we can accept the alternate hypothesis that there exists a significant difference in the mean scores of post-test and pre-test. That is the alternate hypothesis. Okay, that is about paired sample t-test. Now we can go for ANOVA. Here to save the time, I typed all the here this sample is not suitable for ANOVA, there is only 2 samples. You can go for ANOVA, but it is a simple test is there. So in order to test with ANOVA, I would like to take another set score. If it is not there, we can create. Yeah, there is an item analysis file. It is already, I think. Yeah, I can go for item analysis file, or ANOVA file is there. No, it is not suitable for ANOVA. In ANOVA, there should be more than 2 groups. Okay, then only we can utilize. Otherwise, we have to create it now. How to create a data can be also demonstrated. Correlation file is there. Paired sample. Okay. Then for to demonstrate ANOVA, I need another file set. What about this resilience? That is not stored. What about t-test? I will check this file to one more paired sample is there. I would like whether it is good for our work. No. What about this? No. Okay. Now I think we can create a file for that. For that purpose, I can demonstrate typing in Excel and importing to this platform again. For that purpose, I go for this ANOVA table, ANOVA file. Here there is a file is already created. File is there. Achievement test score and aided government school data is there. I select just that data. I selected that data and create a new sheet. Okay, I would like to modify by removing. I think already demonstrated how to make a comma separated value file for this purpose. Okay, aided, unaided government school. Here there is a space in between the heading, so it cannot be used as a variable name. So I modify removing the space in the heading. Then this question is not needed. Okay, I put this data into the first cell. First and cell. Okay, now this is good to convert into comma separated value. File, save as, on desktop, convert this into comma separated value of DOS format. Okay, this is for ANOVA. I make it ANOVA. Click OK. Click OK. Click OK. Yeah, that's enough. Right. Now this is the ANOVA file. ANOVA CSV file. I again open PSPP and go to file, import data. Import data from desktop. ANOVA CSV is there. Click next. Okay, click next. Click here and select this as a heading. The first row is heading. Click next. Okay, the format is not good. Click next. Yeah, now it is so good. But so how many blank variables will be appeared here? There is no need of such variables. Okay, so I can remove later. Then click apply, and this is the file now created, and I would like to save it. Okay, it is already saved. ANOVA CSV. It is the name of that PSPP file. I want to remove that these variable names. Clear variable, and clear this variable, clear this variable. Okay, this only I need. Aided school, unaided school, government school. One more name is there. Okay, now it is good. See data view, aided school, government school, unaided school. This is the data just imported from our Excel file, and I go for analyze. Compare means ANOVA. And here I just select all these groups into dependent variable, and there is a factor, that is a defect here. Here I have to convert the data into another form. I will demonstrate it, but before that I have to convert the data in our Excel so as to modify into ANOVA for ANOVA in PSPP. Just to watch, the structure of data is different in SPSS and Excel to analyze for ANOVA. Here in the statistics file, I make some change in the structure of the data. Here in the last sheet, I created a set of data here, and it is not saved. Here I want to again copy it from here. I'll demonstrate how to make into suitable for SPSS, and this is same for SPSS as well as for PSPP. The structure of data is different. Here we cannot make it in a 3 column because there it need in a single column. Here this is the values of first one aided, second one unaided, so we can change in the alphabetic order. We can change. Second one government school, and the third one unaided school. Okay, are you getting? First one aided school, second one government school, and third one unaided school. Okay, now I change the structure in the way that after aided school I have to post, after aided school I have to post this government school. That is, aided schools are coded as 1. Okay, then government school is coded as 2. It is not 22, it is just 2. Here also it is 2. Then the remaining data for unaided school, and it is, and this is the data structure for ANOVA. Then only we can calculate ANOVA there in PSPP as well as SPSS. Delete. Okay. Now this score is just not of aided school. It is just a score of achievement. I give a title as achievement. And the second column demonstrates group code. Group code. Okay. Now it is good. This is the data structure we need for ANOVA calculation in SPSS as well as PSPP. Now I save this file in comma separated values in desktop. Just go here and click here DOS comma separated value, rename it as ANOVA. Now save it. Yeah, want to replace. Okay, click OK. Yeah, okay. Now this is good. Just click close. Please mute the mic, please.
Yes, ma'am. नहीं, अरे कुछ नहीं दिक्कत। अब तो उसमें भी OTP वाला सिस्टम आ गया, आप एक्टिव करवा दीजिए। OTP वाला सिस्टम आ गया, क्यों नहीं किए? बैंकिंग में भी सब
Shohib Srivastava. Be careful while opening the microphone. Now I opened this SPSS again, PSPP again. Okay. Now open PSPP and import this ANOVA file. Import data. Click on desktop. Click on ANOVA. Click on next button, click on next button, and click on the second line and click on line, right? Click on next button. Yeah, that's good. Click on next button. Okay, just click on apply. One more variable is appeared. I don't know why. Click on apply. Yeah, remove the last variable here. No need of this variable. Clear variables. Okay, right now the structure is good. Achievement score and group code. Now I will make one more change here in group code area. I add value labels like that. One for unaided school. Wait. No, one for aided school. How I recollect it is aided school. It is in alphabetic order. I add this code. AA for first one. So aided school. So always use alphabetic order to create codes. Government school. Then 3 for unaided school. Okay, this is the code I just give us in the value label. Click OK. Now click on data view and click on analyze, click on compare means, click on one way ANOVA. Here achievement is the dependent variable and the group code is the factor. And this is, and we need the descriptive. Descriptive means mean, median, mode, number, etc. of this. And we need to conduct a homogeneity test. It's a assumption of conducting ANOVA. And click on OK. Here the output file is created. This orange color shows. And this is the result. Here aided school mean value is 14, government school mean value is 15, unaided school mean value is 18. Okay, that is more achievement in unaided school. Okay, then minimum maximum value, standard deviation, such things are there. And go for this 11th test of homogeneity test. Okay, it is passed. I will not go for how I say that it is passed. Then go for the ANOVA. Here the ANOVA, the value is 1.01 and it is lesser than the table value. Excuse me please. Here in ANOVA table we can see that the F value is not significant. In the last column also shows that it is greater than 0.05. If it is less than 0.05, this value should be value is significant. But here, for the degrees of freedom 2 and 27, just observe the clerk's statistical table to observe the value for f. It should be greater than this value. That means it is not based on the 1.98 or 2.56 like that, because for f value, the table value may be different, not the 1.96 and 2.58. So we cannot compare the f value with that value, but for each value we have to verify the f value in the table. But no need to go for table value, just to go for the significant value, that is the p value. If it is greater than 0.05, there is no difference between the groups. If there is a difference, which group differ each other? Which groups differ each other? We don't know. In order to identify that, we have to conduct another test. It's known as post hoc analysis, like Sheffey, Duncan, like that. But such tests, I think, not available in PSPP. See, here in analyze, compare means one way ANOVA, there is no options to activate post hoc analysis, but it is available in SPSS. Only that limitation is fine. I found for an MEd student or a basic PhD work to conduct this test. But there are so many other tests are available, box plot, creating box plot, QQ plot, PP plot, multiple regression analysis, so many things are there. Factor analysis there. So many things are there, but it is not come under the preview of this workshop, and I cannot demonstrate SPSS right now because in my laptop there is no cracked or pirated SPSS. So I think this platform is enough for students to learn the structure of SPSS, and if we got a chance to install in their laptop, they can practice it. But every student without any difficulty can download and install this, and it is a small file, after all 53 MB. Actually, I think 900 MB, 0.9 GB file size is there for latest SPSS with AMOS. But such problem is not there to download, and it is a complex process to license it by paying 2 lakhs rupees nearly. Such things are not there. Here it is free. I think it is updated in 2018, this PSPP. In the next updation, or any coding expert listen to my talk, my request is that you can download the open source of this project, and you can code the other things into other statistical packages into this PSPP and can enhance, because this is open source and free, and it is very helpful for our students to practice. I think after explaining this, I can finish it. I would like to demonstrate one more item analysis, that also. That is only the thing I think I skipped from this presentation due to the network problem. I think there are 10 minutes more, and this 10 minutes is usually utilized for question answer session. I request Lakshmi teacher to read the questions from the chat box of this Google Meet, and if there are any serious queries from YouTube also. Meanwhile, I would like to demonstrate item analysis using Edward method in PSPP. Yeah.
So we got a multiple regression analysis. Lakshmi ma'am.
I already explained it is not the purview of this workshop. This platform is helpful to create linear regression, simple linear regression. So I skipped that question, and sorry ma'am for that.
Then Divya Rajesh is asking how to draw normality curve in Excel.
Normality curve in Excel, but I haven't yet tweaked. It is easily created in PSPP. I already demonstrated.
That's all I think, sir. That's all I think.
Okay. Then I can go for the what is called item analysis using Edward method in PSPP. For that purpose, I need a data like what is the data resilience correlation. I will check this data is suitable or not. It is so simple to calculate the correlation here. I already not demonstrated correlation in PSPP. Just click analyze. There should be two set of variables. Just click analyze and go for bivariate correlation. Click on the two variables. Select the two variables into this window. Calculate the significance of that correlation. Flag significant correlation should be ticked. Click OK. That's all needed for calculating the correlation. The value of correlation is here. Here the value is negative correlation is there. -5 is the correlation and it is significant. This is a value. -5 means if one value is increased, the other value decreased. I think it is the data of resilience and professional density behavior. If one value increased, the other value decreased. 0.5 is an adequate correlation between these two values. Such things, small things are here. Then I will demonstrate one more thing. I think my request all have to download the PSPP and practice it. It is not so much worry about SPSS and its complexities. You can easily create this correlates in the upper group and lower group of the data. Our data may consist of, our tool may consist of number of items, and all the in the preliminary test or pre-test or for the test during the, okay, 1 second, it is hanged. I will make a in the preliminary analysis of the tool standardization process, we may conduct a test to standardize it, and during that stage we may conduct a data collection of from at least 120 samples to conduct item analysis, and we calculate the total of the tool and arrange the 120 samples from top to bottom, and in that file we conduct a t-test based on Edward method. Edward suggests that if there is a significant difference in the mean score of each item for the upper group and lower group, we can accept that item. If there is no significant difference for a mean score of each item in the upper group and lower group, we have to reject that item. That is the base of Edward method. For that purpose, we go for this data. Here you can see that item 1 to item 52 are there, and the upper group is marked as 2 and the lower group is marked as 1. Here lower group is marked as 1, and this is in descending order. See, the total is in descending order. Here the lower groups are marked as 1, upper groups are marked as 2, and in data variable view we have to name the codes for the upper group. Here 1 for lower group and 2 for upper group is given. Now go for analyze, compare means, independent sample t-test, and select all the items. Select all the items to this test variable and select group to grouping variable. Define group as 1 here, 2 here, continue. Okay, click OK, that's enough. And it will produce a large statistical table in which mean of each item will be displayed. Mean value of each item. For example, for item number 1, the mean value of upper group is 2.27, upper group is 4.10. If these two means are significantly differ, we can accept item number 1. If there is no significant difference between these two, we have to reject it. That is the base of Edward method. And here in the lower area, the t-test is here. Here in the see the t-value and the significant value. From the significant value, it is found that there it shows item 1 is significantly different in upper group and lower group. So we can accept this item. If any item without significant difference, that is a t-value lesser than 1.96, have to be rejected. If there is any value without considering the sign, if any t-value is there, no. I already said that it is already item analyzed data, so there will not be not a single item to reject. Otherwise, all shows significant difference. See, none of the p-value shows greater than 0.05. If any value of item shows greater than 0.05, we can reject that item. Okay, we can remove that item from the tool. That is the method of Edward to item analysis. There are 2 item analysis process I explained today. There are many other. Here I explained the Cronbach alpha method for reliability and to demonstrate a discriminating power between upper group and lower group. This Edward method is suitable. I think this is enough now. Thank you for attending this webinar. I would like to invite Lakshmi to conclude the session.
Sir, thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for such an informative and excellent presentation. It was very useful even for the beginners itself. From the comments, it's very clear that the beginners benefited from this session very much, and the researchers also got a great insight into different softwares. Thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation, and thank you so much for cooperating with the entire team, even in hard problems about network connectivity and all those things. Thank you very much, sir, for your excellent presentation once again. And thank you very much all the participants. You cooperated so much with us in our technical errors. You were very patient and cooperative and tolerant. Thank you very much. Thank you very much all participants once again from NSS Training College Ottapanam. And I thank all our faculty members and non-faculty members and our students for their cooperation throughout the session. Thank you very much once again. Thank you all.
Okay, I request participants to give their views in another feedback form I will share in the WhatsApp group, and you can fill that that is exactly the feedback regarding this workshop, not for the certificate purpose. And here I think many of you may obtain the certificate right now in your inbox, or you verify after 24 hours it will be delivered. Then thank you for patient listening. My request is that just to try the PSPP in your laptop and just give an introduction to your students. And I request students to practice this Excel as well as PSPP before their dissertation work. Then they can easily use these tools while conducting their surveys. Okay, and keep this recorded YouTube file for you. Okay, thank you very much, and I request all the participants please to leave the meeting. Then we can stop the meeting right now. Thank you very much.